Kept you waiting, huh? Hey everyone, Base DS here, bringing you all a very long overdue update video and answering the question, where the hell have you been for the past 2.5 months? Well, don't worry, I've got a very good logical explanation for that, but before we go ahead and dive into that little tidbit there, I do have one thing that I want to quickly go ahead and cover, and you all may have subtly noticed it, and that is the channel name is now different. So from this point onward, this channel is going to be called Base DS Plays. It's going to be a dedicated Let's Play channel and nothing else. Reason being, I'm taking my Base DS 1990 name and I'm using that for my own personal channel, and I've got things that I plan on doing there, mainly just little random things from time to time, but mainly video game reviews. That's something that I've been wanting to do for some time now, and I feel like I'm in a good position to go ahead and give that a shot. So hopefully you all can go ahead and check that channel out. It'll be a while before I get the wheels turning and start uploading any reviews, but still, it's something that I've had on my mind for a while now, and figured, why not? I'm just wasting time not doing anything. I'll go ahead and give it a shot and see how it plans out. So if you all want to check out that content, feel free to go over to my new channel, subscribe, and I hope you all enjoy everything that I'll be bringing to the table there in terms of the game reviews. But anyway, to get back to the thought that is probably on everyone's mind, you were probably wondering, where the hell have I been for the past 2.5 months? And like I said, I have a very good reason. Real life got in the way. That is exactly what it is, and I'm not kidding. It's not just a half-baked excuse, it's the actual truth. So basically what happened was, I had planned on taking the rest of October off. I was going to use that time to get some videos recorded. That way I would have something to cover for when I had to do my holiday hours at work for around the tail end of November and all throughout December. Unfortunately, we ended up getting hit with a little bit of extra work, and that ended up having me to do a good number of overtime hours, so that pretty much took up some of my time right there. But even then, I still had the weekends off, so I was still trying to get things put together. I was working on getting videos for Unchained Key / Union Cross recorded, and I will say I've actually got a good amount recorded right now, but I'll get to that later. And I had something planned to cover December. Unfortunately, what happened was, the last weekend that I had off before the holiday hours began, I ended up getting sick. My throat was just completely out of whack. I could not hardly talk whatsoever. It would even hurt to swallow, so I just don't know what it was that made me sick. But I was in real bad shape, and I was in no condition to try to record anything at all. So luckily I was able to bounce back from that, and with the small time that I did have when I was doing the holiday hours, I did manage to get a little bit of Unchained Key / Union Cross recorded, and things probably would have gone without a hitch, except we ended up having so much in the system. We had at least, like, I want to say, at one point, 300,000 units of product that we had to ship out. It was just a mess, and because of that, the usual 13 days straight that we work ended up becoming 20 days. So yeah, that was fun. That was a mess and a nightmare. Oh, I hope I never have to do another 20 days straight again. And on top of that, when we did get through all that backlog, we only had 1 day off every 6 days. So that literally did not leave me any time to try and record, especially considering I was on second shift, and by the time I got home, I was too tired to want to do anything. So yeah, that really played a lot in the grand scheme of things. And if I'm being honest here, also a little bit partly responsible is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I've been playing the hell out of that game. Absolutely love it. So yeah, that was a bit of a factor in why there was no content for the past 2.5 months. But anyway, I am aiming for 2018 to hopefully being much better, assuming something doesn't get tossed in the way and ends up ruining my plans. So for 2018, I've actually got quite a number of projects that I want to go ahead and work on throughout the year, some I'm going to go ahead and divulge here, and others I'm going to go ahead and keep hidden for now. I'll cover those later on down the road when I have the time. But mainly just what I have planned for at least the first couple of months in 2018, and one of them being for whenever I can actually get around to getting the games themselves. But anyway, as for my first New Year's project, I'm going to go ahead and keep silent on that. You'll all just have to wait until tomorrow, New Year's Day, to find out what it is, so be on the lookout for that. And keeping that in mind, for Unchained Key / Union Cross, I debated on this for a while, but I've decided to go ahead and push that back until February. Reason being, as I said it earlier, before I ended up getting sick and the holiday hours ended up complicating things, I did have some stuff recorded, and I still have stuff to record to completely wrap up all the content that made up Kingdom Hearts Key, so I want to go ahead and use this next month as a bit of a buffer to give me time to get all that content recorded, as well as preparing things for the Keyblade War and, of course, Kingdom Hearts Key back cover. So yeah, I didn't want to have to do it, but I figured it was the best call for me to make in this situation, especially considering that the videos that I currently have recorded, I know that they are going to take quite a while to render. And granted, the stuff that I have left to record, there's going to be some cases to where they're going to be very small videos. So at least when I do get around to doing Unchained Key / Union Cross again, don't worry, we will be completely caught up on all that backlog. And plus, it does kind of fit in considering it was February of this year when I actually started Let's Playing. So, I mean, just seems to line up there. And so, keeping that in mind, the journey to Kingdom Hearts 3. So, we all know that, assuming nothing goes wrong, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out in 2018. So, with that in mind, the journey to Kingdom Hearts 3 is still ongoing. But I already know that there is literally no way in hell, no matter how hard or how fast I record and edit, I'm not going to have every game Let's Played and uploaded to my Let's Play channel. It's just not going to happen. It's going to be a project where I'm going to have to work at the game's pace, so to speak. But now, I have come up with a bit of a compromise. So, when Kingdom Hearts 3's release date is known, what I plan to do is, assuming I have my new processor by then, that way I can stream without any issues, I'm going to be doing live streams of all of the playable Kingdom Hearts games, and I'll be playing them all on beginner mode to allow for faster storytelling. That way we don't have to worry about grinding or getting stuck at a hard boss, just to go ahead and get everyone caught up on the story before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. I figure that is the least I can do for you all who have been waiting for me to start that series for the past year when I started Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key / Union Cross. It was supposed to start around the summer of that year, but that's when I decided to do the Supersonic Summer Knuckles Marathon. So yeah, I know you all have been wanting the Kingdom Hearts stuff to happen. It will happen, I'm just not sure when I'll start it up this year, but be on the lookout for when I do those live streams later on this year when we do have Kingdom Hearts 3's concrete release date. So I will say right now, I do have another marathon planned, and that is the Mega Man for Everlasting Peace Marathon. So with the advent and imminent release next year of Mega Man 11, I decided to go on a bit of a classic series binge, so I'll be playing through Mega Man 1 through 10, ending the marathon with Mega Man 11. Of course, I will say though, I am going to go ahead and exclude Mega Man and Bass from the marathon. Reason being, I am completely unfamiliar with the game, even though I've played it from time to time, but I've never actually fully sat down to play it. And from what I've heard, it is absolutely brutal as hell. No E-tanks whatsoever. So, yeah, Knuckles Chaotix was the exception. In this case, I'm not risking being stuck and leaving the project in limbo just because of one game. So, yeah, Mega Man and Bass is going to be excluded from that. But regardless, I'm going to be doing Mega Man 1 through 10, as well as Mega Man 11 when that does end up coming out around the tail end of 2018. As for when I'll start it, I'm not sure exactly when that'll be because I still need to buy the cartridges for Mega Man 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Especially 7, that's going to be pretty pricey. And yes, I am aware of the collections. I do own them, but I would really rather buy the cartridges and use them on my Retron. I just can't help it. I did that for Sonic 1 through 3 and Knuckles, and that's what I want to do with Mega Man, and eventually that'll be the same thing for many other retro gaming series that I'll get around to doing. So yes, while I do have the collections, I really don't want to use those unless I really have to, but really considering that it'll be no problem to get the remaining games, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And if anything, I'll say maybe perhaps the tail end of 2018, like literally maybe a few months before Mega Man 11's release, which means I'm going to have to start uploading videos for those games like crazy. But luckily, seeing as how short each stage in all the Classic Series games are, that shouldn't be a problem. I can easily do like 2 videos a day for those games, so that's not going to be an issue whatsoever. That issue right there is completely non-existent. So now, I do have some more stuff planned for later on this year, but I want to go ahead and keep silent on that because some of them could end up being backup plans if I need to buy myself some more time to work on another project. It'll really all depend, so we'll just cross that bridge when we get there. So until then, I'm keeping silent on those other projects. But regardless, with what I have planned for here and over on my personal/review channel, 2018 is looking to be a pretty good year. So hopefully you all can excuse me for the unintentional hiatus. As I said, it completely came out of nowhere and real life just reared its ugly head right in my face. So yeah, I didn't want to have to take that hiatus, but I didn't have much of an option. But regardless, we're going to try and make the best out of 2018 as much as we can. So until next time, and for those of you that have been sticking around and wondering where I've been at, I thank you all. I truly do. I'm glad that you are enjoying my content, and I'm glad to bring this content to you and even entertain you to some degree. Granted, I'm not Mr. Funny Man, even if I try to be, but I'm just myself, a gamer just like all of you. So until next time, thank you all for watching. I hope you're enjoying things so far, and I'll see you all again in 2018.